Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to do a quick review of this laser level receiver that I just bought. It's a Johnson, I think it says it's a 6791. If you can read upside down, then you can read with me here. It's something like that, 4D-6791. And as far as the functionality goes, I can be pretty short about it. It works really well. It's really well built, actually. My old laser, I drove over it with my track loader, so I didn't expect any laser to survive that. But my old laser, it was all the sides were plastic, and so they'd get scuffed, and you would be scuffing these lenses. Which I think, the lenses actually filter. You can see how the lenses are red, and so the lenses actually filter out the daylight versus, the light from the laser. You can see my laser right up there, and so scuffing the lenses is a bad thing, to reduce the sensitivity or the accuracy. And so this actually has these metal bars. This plastic here. This strip here is actually not plastic, it's metal, and it's screwed together. I don't know if you can actually take it apart to service it, to replace the batteries or something. I would presume that you can, actually. And so it's certainly a very well-built, sturdy unit. If you pick it up too, it just, it's got some weight to it. It really feels like, the case and everything is really well put together. It's also got this connector. It's a combination connector. You can both charge it as well as connect the remote display through the connector. And so I did actually purchase the remote display, particularly sitting on this machine. Sometimes it's kind of hard to, from the driver's seat, it's kind of hard to see the display here. You basically keep having to lean over and get a backache if you do that all day. And so I got the remote display, so you can see basically, whichever light is lit up on the main unit will also light up on the display. Actually, when I bought this, I thought it would be a wireless display. It just says remote display. It doesn't say it's wired. So I was expecting that it would be wireless somehow, which seems to make sense to me because, a machine like this, it's all rough and tough and hard iron and whatnot, and it'd be pretty easy to snag a wire on something and destroy the thing. So I was a little disappointed, actually, in that sense that it's wired. Although, of course, nothing's perfect. Wireless, you'd have another set of batteries, and you'd have another set of just having to pair the thing, and so even wireless has some downsides to it. But I'm mostly concerned about snagging the wire, and then also, when I'm done for the day, like this thing has a metal roof, so I usually just stick the units to the underside of the roof. That way, it doesn't get rain or sunshine on it, but I still have it right there. I don't, can't forget it and have to go back and get it when I go out to work here. But the cable is kind of you have to kind of route it and hang it on a few things in order for it not to get snagged, and so the cable kind of makes that a little bit more difficult too. I just let it hang overnight, so with the connector down. One advantage of it is this thing actually has a charging connector on the bottom, so you can connect this to the laser level, and you can connect this. It actually comes with a power supply, so you can, or like a set of clamps or whatever, so you can clamp it to a voltage supply, so you can actually keep the main unit charged through the day with this level. It doesn't invert, so if you put the receiver on the other side of the bucket, then you actually gotta turn this thing around. So it's just doing it like this basically, but it wants to kind of sit like that because of the weight of the cable. Of course, you can tighten these knobs, and then it'll stay upright. It didn't actually come with a magnet. It actually just comes with the brackets, and so I took the magnet off my old unit, so that way I have some way of mounting it to a metal surface. So if you I don't know how people typically mount these. If you permanently put them in the cab, I guess you can just drill a hole somewhere, but I don't really keep it on here permanently, so I just did the magnet thing. I kind of thought it should have come with a some type of magnet mount. Also, like this, it doesn't have much clearance here, so if you have a nut here, then you cannot actually flip the unit around, which is kind of I would have thought they should have made this thing a quarter-inch longer, so it has a little bit more clearance to even though this nut doesn't stick out very much, and you can't spin it around. But other than that, it's good quality stuff. Oh, and also the main unit actually comes with a really nice Pelican type case, and so it's well protected, and you can keep the unit and all the charger and the cables and everything together, but not the remote display. It just comes in a box, and all the cables are just kind of loose, and so you don't have any storage. So I'm probably gonna, maybe on my old units that had a Pelican case, so I probably convert that to keep the remote display. But I was a little disappointed that for $300-400, I think they ought to have been able to have some kind of plastic case, even if it might not be bomb-proof, but at least something that you can use to keep everything together and not lose it. And so that's about it. The connectors, it came with a couple of sets of cables, and I'm actually not sure what the other cable is for. I think you can actually daisy chain these things. You see, this is kind of like the same connector, so I think you can actually have multiple remote displays connected. Well, I don't see why you would want to do that. Maybe you have a machine control and a remote display or something like that. You can have, an automatic machine control as well as like a solenoid valve that operates your hydraulics. I'm plugging it in the wrong side. You see, I already got some dirt in this connector the other day, just bumping it on something, and so I used the little zip tie wire that you use to get that holds the cable together. I tied that to here so I can use this little pokey end of it to get the dirt out, because it's very easy to get dirt in these connectors. Typically I wouldn't, like the main unit has a cover, and so you would, you see, I don't know, you cannot see it from here. Let me go down there and show you. This main unit, it has a cover, so that way when you have it on the machine and you're using it, then you can, unless you're of course using the remote display, but if you're not, you can put this on, and that way you can't get any dirt in the connector. But they seem to have cut some corners on the remote display, so that was, I would say, my main gripe. But I think it's something new. I don't think I've seen that before. When I was buying my old one, about 10 years ago, and I've never seen one that actually has a remote display. So it's probably something new, and hopefully they'll come back and make some improvements. But other than that, I'm very happy with the unit. Oh, one more thing that I had, like, I don't know if I can get this to happen now, but these magnets that are in here, they're actually not permanently attached. And so I've had cases where the magnet would, you see, there you go. The little magnet came out of here, and it stuck to the bucket instead of here. And so I've been having that happen just about every time that I get this thing, off and on. Then the stupid little magnet comes out, and you gotta go stick it in there. So I have no idea what they were thinking there, like just to have that loosely in here. Maybe you're supposed to, I don't know, you can probably have something in between here, like a sheet of paper or metal or something to help prevent that from happening, but that was a little annoying, and I don't see why. They must have done it for a reason, but okay, now that happens. They get doubled up, and so you gotta peel them apart and get the magnet to go in the right hole again. So that's one oddity of this unit, but other than that, it's great, and I definitely can recommend it. Alright, y'all take care.